I'm Chef Ben Diaz, and today I'm working with Chairman's Reserve Premium Pork Shank and Cushion. My first dish is a Carnitas dish. For this one, I chose the pork cushion because it's super tender and it falls right off the bone. For the spice rub, I chose this oregano, cumin, crushed bay leaf, and smoked paprika. Next, I combined OJ and milk to render off the meat and create a beautiful combination of flavors. I then vacuum sealed the pork, sous vide it at 171 degrees for 6 hours. For the sauce, I charred up some tomatillos, guajillos, and jalapenos. I removed the carnitas, add them to a bowl, toss it with that beautiful tomatillo guajillo marinade. The flavor is phenomenal, texture amazing. For the plate up, I chose this beautiful cast iron, give it a little bit of rustic kind of feel to it. I layered the carnitas on there, and then I paired it with these amazing pickled red onions, these beautiful radishes, and some garnishes. Bulgogi is beautiful, delicious Korean barbecue. So what I did is I did a combination of sesame seed, chili paste, and soy. For this dish, I used the pork cushion because again, super tender, it lends itself to a beautiful braising texture and technique. I vacuum sealed it, sous vide it at 180 degrees for 6.5 hours. The meat became super tender and delicious. For the finish, I steamed some beautiful bao buns. I picked some amazing red leaf lettuce and paired it with some sweet apples. The combination of flavors was phenomenal. For this dish, I used Chairman's Reserve Premium Pork Shank. It's super delicious and tender. First off, I started off by removing the skin. I gently scored the pork shank on all sides. Slow roasted it at 300 degrees for 3.5 hours. The meat is super tender and juicy at this point. For the finish, we let the product rest for about 20 minutes and then created amazing sweet chili glaze consisting of Korean Thai chili, maple, and soy. Brushed it on and then hit it with a torch to kind of caramelize all the flavors around the pork shank. This dish is barbacoa pork shank. Start off by skinning the pork shank, gently removing the skin from all sides. Once that was done, I reserved the skin for later use. Then the barbacoa shank was roasted at 325 degrees for 4 hours in a dry heat. And I added a generous amount to a red wine reduction. I paired this with an aged Gouda and a sweet potato bun. The outcome was a super sensational combination of flavor profiles with smoky tones. For this Oaxacan Chorizo, I used Chairman's Reserve Premium Pork Cushion. The reason I used the cushion, it's super tender and sweet. I started off by grinding the pork and mixing it with guajillo and smoked tomato right before I sous vide it. I then took that beautiful skin from the pork shank, removed the fat, and fried it at 365 degrees for about 5 to 7 minutes. It didn't really pop and crisp up. The result is a super thin and tender chicharron. I then took that beautiful chorizo that was sous vide, removed it, and pan-seared it on all sides for about 10 minutes on low heat to create caramelization that really adds to the tenderness of the product. I paired the chorizo with an ancho orange sauce and crema amarga. The flavors work, sensational combination worked very well.